Greetings and welcome back to my channel, 𝗙𝗕𝗿 Bakes. Today we're making a lovely and luscious carrot and walnut cake. In my stand mixer, I'm adding 450 grams of softened butter, and I'm also going to add 450 grams of granulated white sugar. I'm also adding the zest of one orange. Again, be careful not to grate any of the white parts, as this will make the cake taste bitter. Make sure to scrape down your bowl in between mixing and adding ingredients. Here I'm adding the zest of the second orange. Again, make sure you don't get any of the white parts into the batter. I'm using 8 eggs for this recipe, and after adding 1 egg at a time, I'll also be adding a tablespoon of flour. Once the egg is well incorporated into the butter mixture, I'll then be adding the next one. Once all the eggs have been added, I'm then going to go ahead and add some vanilla flavoring. I roughly added about just under a tablespoon. You could use vanilla extract if you wanted to. I've also added a tad bit of almond flavoring. You could again use almond extract if you choose to do so. After giving the bowl another scrape down, I then added the remaining flour. After incorporating the flour, I then go ahead and remove the beater, as we are going to be finishing off the final steps by hand. Here I'm adding 450 grams of grated carrots, which vary in texture. Also adding 150 grams of chopped walnuts and 75 grams of desiccated coconuts, my secret ingredient. This mixture was enough for a 2-layer cake. You could choose to bake the mixture off into 2 separate 10-inch pans. However, I'm going to bake it in one pan and then cut my cake in half, as that's how I prefer to ice it. I bake my cake at 180 degrees Celsius for roughly an hour and a half.
Here is the cake out of the oven.
Whilst the cake is cooling, we're gonna go ahead and make our orange cream cheese frosting. For our cream cheese frosting, I'm adding 400 grams of cream cheese to my stand mixer, and I'm also going to be adding 300 ml of double cream and the grated zest of 1 to 1.5 oranges. I sifted in around 1.5 cups of icing sugar. I would say it depends on what your taste buds are. This can be adjusted depending on how the oranges taste as well. But I wouldn't go more than maybe 1.75 cups or 2 cups. I mean, if you have a really sweet tooth. All you're going to do is to mix the ingredients all together. I would say halfway through mixing, just to scrape down the bowl just to make sure that you incorporate all the icing sugar. Be careful not to overmix the frosting, as this can cause it to separate. Here I'm adding some cream cheese frosting to the base to stop the cake from slipping, which I've previously cut into 2 once it had completely cooled. Here I'm spreading a generous amount of the cream cheese frosting in an even layer and making sure I don't go all the way to the edge. After placing the second layer on top, I then go ahead and add the remaining cream cheese frosting and spread it generously over the top, making sure to include the edges. I then went ahead and added walnuts on top. Again, you could have used pecans if you wanted to, and if you wanted to be real extra, you could have toasted off the nuts in the oven for roughly 5 minutes just to intensify their flavors. This cake was for my colleague's mom's 90th birthday, so here I am just adding some chocolate writing which I had prepared earlier. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to subscribe, share, comment, and like. Until next time, blessings.